Olana. Okay. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante bhuri panya tathagata kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipana anuttara sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arhato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tisarana gamanang paripunang panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Nacha Gita Vadita Visuka Dasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Uccasayana Mahasayana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Idang me silang Magapala Jnanasa Pachayo Hotu Appamadena Sampadeta Ma Bhante Sa. Tonight we need to skip the guided meditation. We'll continue that on Monday. So those who are just arrived, welcome. And while you are here, so follow the timetable: 1 hour walk, 1 hour sit. Interview will be on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. But though for those who just arrived today, either will be on Thursday or Saturday already. Then after that, followed by Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and so on. So try to meditate for the first few days, overcome the sleepiness, overcome the drowsiness, overcome the thinking mind, let it settle down. First few days, there's nothing much for you all to notice except, just make sure that you all get through the first few days. After that, what next? Yeah, during lunchtime, especially during lunchtime or breakfast time also, come down a little bit later after the bell rings, maybe about after 5 or 10 minutes, then only you come down. Let them, sometimes there are outside devotees will come in to do dana, and once they do the offerings, then they leave after a few minutes. Then after that, you can come down. Then I think by Wednesday, after breakfast or before lunch, we do another testing. So while we are here, during especially like over here, we are quite confined in a way. So we still wear the mask during Dhamma talk, during in the interview also. And although right now the government says no need to wear, optional. But our place here is a bit confined. So after that, third day, after Wednesday, then maybe a little bit optional. So all depends. Sometimes if you forget, then doesn't matter. Even like if our dining hall too, that place, the ventilation is not so good, so we have a few this air purifier there. Hopefully it works. So far it works. So far no cases yet. So far. Anyway, let's get back to the Q&A. So Saturday night we have a Q&A session. All right. Okay, let me remove. Okay, first question. Can Bhante please share some insight on Dharma healing therapy? Heard about it, but not in details. Can this healing be done during intensive retreat when mindfulness is sharper? Uh, Can Bhante please share some insights on Dhamma healing therapy? Heard about it, but not in details. Can this healing be done only during intensive retreat when mindfulness is sharper? When we talk about this Dhamma therapy, of course, the Mahasi Sayadaw wrote books on it, articles on those things. When we say, of course, Dhamma therapy, but that one actually more like a Vipassana therapy thing. But when we look at Dhamma therapy is actually very wide. That means in a way that you apply some wholesome Dhamma in order to overcome some bodily or mental problems. Okay? You apply some Dhamma. That Dhamma can be Sila, can be Dana, can be services, it can be meditation, it can be realization, it can be the whole thing. Whole range of it is actually in Dhamma therapy. For all of us, when we come into the Dhamma thing, in a way, it's a therapy thing also. Although we don't consider ourselves insane or mad or depressed or this one, but in a way, we change our lifestyle. We change it in the sense that perhaps in the past we are quite narrow-minded, very attached, and very very kadukut or whatever very prone to anger. And then when you learn about the Dhamma, then the mind becomes more open, less anger, uh, less anger, less desire. Then in a way, the mind already begin to become more happier. Or you become to be more generous in a way that you're able to share, you're able to give. You felt that happier, you're not so attached too strongly to our material things. That also makes us happier. Or maybe the sila also, that because of we uphold the sila, immorality, whether the 5 precepts or whether 8 precepts, no, it makes us in a sense that a more calmer mind, a clearer mind, not so wild mind. It is a therapy in a way. In a way, it's kind of a therapy. But when we talk about this Dhamma therapy thing, where we apply the Dhamma, especially in the mental development part, we apply the Dhamma in the meditation in order to overcome some mental or physical problems, or mental illness or physical illness. Of course, nowadays, this therapy thing, they don't use the word Dhamma, but nowadays they use the word just mindfulness therapy. Mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. You pay a lot of money for it now. Mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, then this one, it try to use the mindfulness to overcome depression, to overcome anxiety. But not in the sense that they connect everything to the Buddha and so on. Then they have this mindfulness-based stress reduction. So as the word says, they use the mindfulness to reduce the stress in the everyday life. Okay. Of course, nowadays also they use this Dhamma, this mindfulness therapy in so many ways. In ways like in education. Sometimes people begin to introduce even mindfulness before they start their lecture, before they start their classes. There are certain schools that introduce this type of mindfulness thing. Just be present, just right here, not like us, like we're trying to be present and yet we have to be detailed in all the noticing. That they don't have to do that, but all they need to do is just be present, just be here, just with the in breath, with the out breath, just with the rising and falling. You don't have to worry whether it's long or short, fast or slow. Just be there. So the mind comes down, the mindfulness comes in also during that time. Then the healing takes place after some time. Yeah. A lot of them, like for example, attention span, especially nowadays with the mobile phones and so on, the attention span is very short. Yeah. And because of that, the and like in China, I've seen one documentary. Some children are so, it's obsessive with like with video games and so on. Yeah. Totally obsessive already. And, now they like 16 hours per day or 20 hours per day. It's all about the computer, all about all these type of things. So when they have that thing, they cannot undo all these things. Sometimes the parents send them to a healing camp. And they go there, they completely give up on all these things in order to cure that type of obsession. Uh, so so with these type of things also, they find it that this mindfulness thing, it's helpful. After all, mindfulness, if they develop some degree of mindfulness, then mindfulness itself is a wholesome mental state. Wholesome mental state, it has that effect in the mind. It has a great effect in the mind. So nowadays people do all these things. But the way that Dhamma therapy that is written by the Mahasi Sayadaw, then again here, it quoted a number of examples of yogis that they able to overcome the bodily sickness, especially the bodily sickness during in the retreat, during the retreat. Again here, overcome some bodily sickness. It could be because of the mindfulness, one thing. Mind is not so running here and there. Could be also concentration. There could be also the wisdom factor also. Could be also the right effort too. That all comes together in the noting mind. So with that, the Mahasi Sayadaw wrote that this type of vipassana somehow can able to cure certain illnesses. And he quoted that some yogis are cured by, may cured even the cancer also. Yeah? But when I read this type of things, I always read that, yes, perhaps for that yogi is cured. But there are many yogis don't really get cured. Those who didn't get cured didn't mention, they didn't write in the book. But the one that cured, of course, is written in the book. Yeah. So make sure that this meditation, that what we are doing, make sure that the goal is not for curing the bodily disease. It will come as a good side effect. Here, when we want to cure, is to cure our defilements, is to finally eradicate the defilements. The defilements is the one that gave us all kinds of problem, not only just in this life, but also in the future lives. You think your karma are not connected to your defilements? Maybe your past life you did something wrong, something unwholesome, then this life you suffer the unpleasant feelings that comes up, which you, whatever you want to call it, you call it cancer, you call it this, you call it that, but you suffer. So it's a lot to do with all our unwholesome states of mind. They carry us from one life to another life. So sometimes Yogis, because when they don't have the understanding of what is the noble goal of this vipassana, sometimes they just attach to the worldly goal. They just want to cure certain diseases, and that's about it. And after that, when they cure, if they cure the diseases, they don't come back for meditation anymore. Yeah. So, does vipassana able to cure? That is a very hard question. Not easy question, because one thing, it will involves karma, and the karma is what we cannot see. What we can see right now in the present, we able to develop a wholesome mental states as much as we can. And sometimes the wholesome mental states are it able to heal the mind and heal the body in many ways. And that, if you ask me how, 我不知道 that one. It heal already lah. Now you don't ask me how the process work. That one doesn't matter anymore. It works. I really do not know. Somehow or another, sometimes if wholesome mental state arises because of a wholesome present mental state, then it condition for wholesome karma of the past to able to ripen in the present. Maybe because of its condition is there for certain wholesome karma to ripen. And then together with that karma, together with the mindfulness, it overcomes certain diseases. So if you can able to do that, then well and good. Sadhu to you. And continue meditation. There's no such thing as just over your problem over and that's it. Uh, uh, in the past, I've seen, even here also, there are yogis who came in just to overcome certain diseases, free from the diseases, and then after that, they don't meditate, and then they go outside that, do all kinds of wrong things, and then the cancer come back again, the diseases come back again, after that die. Yeah. So make sure that our goal for the noble, this meditation, it's for finally for enlightenment. Now, there are those who suffer. Of course, we understand that. Not that we have no compassion. There are those who suffer, like you have this problem or this thing. Then, of course, with this type of diseases come in, this meditation is difficult for us to do. Even you're healthy, at the end of the day, you're totally flat already. Tired and so on. What more if you are carrying a certain diseases? And that diseases can be chronic and also can be deadly. So with that, we try to meditate as much as we can. And then with that sharp mindfulness, clear mindfulness that arises, sometimes it heals certain things. I've seen yogis, like, for example, a lot of us, as we grow older, we have legs problem, hips problem, knee problem, and this and that. One of the things is that when we have these things, is that usually I notice that when they are at home, they don't walk enough. Not to say walking meditation now, but not walking enough. Every day sitting in the chair, don't know what they are doing, but sitting. Everything make life easy. Like for example, for many of us, our attitude is this. We go to a shopping mall, we see the door, we want to park near the door. I say, some people sometimes they fetch me, can't we park a little bit further and walk a little bit now? Isn't it good? But cannot. Our attitude is see near the shopping mall, the door, and there we want to park right next to it. I go to US also the same thing. I mean, the people in the world is like that. When the convenience is there, they really make full use of the convenience. Then our health gets affected. So when I notice these type of things happen, and when you come to a retreat like what we're doing over here in an intensive retreat, more or less you have to walk at least 5 hours, like five walkings per day. And then 5 hours already, plus like you're going for lunchtime, going for this and that and so on. So other than that, more or less there's quite a lot of hours of walking, and it is good for the body. Yeah? And of course, those who already have a lot of problems, sometimes they find it that it's difficult. But if you're able to pull through, a lot of times the the tightness of the leg, a lot of tightness, a lot of pressure in the leg, your muscle begin to loosen after maybe a week or so. First few days, sometimes some yogis, they have a fear that they're going to cause a lot of problems to the leg. But if you dare to do it, we are not doing physically active thing. We are just walking on it. So with that walking, after some time, a week or 10 days or so, they find that the legs getting more relaxed, getting more easy, getting more able to do a lot of things. So with that, they find that it's good. So in a way, it's a healing also. Because with that, if you do that for a long period of time, a lot of your problems can able to reduce or even disappear. And also sometimes like noting pain also, physical pain that you may carry in the sitting. Sometimes once in a while, not all the time, but once in a while I do hear that yogis not the pain that particular area of the pain, they have some problems already. With that, they not during the sitting, not purposely they want to note, but it comes up as a prominent object. So when it comes up as a prominent object, they pay attention to it, they note the pain. Somehow, at perhaps one final day, the whole thing break out and completely disappear. And after that, no more pain already. And in a way, it's a healing also. Even though there are those people who says that the healing can be like with pressure, hardness in the like feel that there's something inside the stomach area, and then they note as it comes up as an object, and then they note. Sometimes they see things are moving, and then after that they slowly disappear. So in a way, it's a healing also. So there are many things that is healing right now to the body. And sometimes also the walking, even the sitting also, there are forces in the body, like, the wind element, the fire element that is inside the body, As you begin to meditate, become more clearer. Sometimes these elements are pushing, a lot of pushing here and there. And then as they push around the whole body and so on, as if like it's going to realign everything inside there. It's going to pull you here and there. And yet sometimes we felt that how come all this thing is moving around, very difficult. But then after when they go back, they go do all the qigong. Then they feel the qi is moving here. Oh, they like it very much, healing. But when the body meditating, that thing is moving here and there, it cannot. Yeah, all this chi and all that thing is just wind element. But we want to, of course, we want to whatever, we want to put more context into it. We want to put more name into it in order to feel good. Rather than practicing wind element, practicing chi nicer. It sounds nicer, isn't it? You can advertise there, practice wind element. Who's going to come? Who's going to come for the practice? Nobody going to come. So all this therapy in the meditation. So all you need to do, be mindful, be alert, notice your object. All this noticing of the object, it will automatically, whether it's going to heal or not, it will know how to do its job. You don't have to worry about it. It will slowly, one way or another, it will learn to shift and align the body or align whatever chi you want to call, or what you overcome whatever sickness of the body, overcome whatever sickness of the mind. Of course, the sickness of the mind, it's easy. It's more. It will be a lot of it'll be very clear as you begin to go deeper into it, because it's going to realign the all the defilements and also the wrong view and the wrong perception. So a lot of things are taking place inside there. So this is on Dharma therapy. Other words, just meditate will do lah. It will do the job for you already. Just meditate. All right. Next question. Okay, can Bhante share some methods of handling excessive energy which results in sleepless nights during meditation retreat? Can Bhante share some methods of handling excessive energy which result in sleepless nights during meditation retreat? Okay. If cannot sleep, then what do you do? Tiệu đâu. That would be good if during that time, this type of, if you sleepless nights, for those who don't meditate that much, say for example, if you go to other form of retreats, let's say, that per day, let's say you only meditate like morning or 1 hour, 2 hour, afternoon maybe you meditate 1 hour, and then you have to do other things, and then at night again you meditate 1 hour, perhaps, or 2 hours perhaps. Then it's not like full intensive continuous meditation like what we are doing. Now, if that type of meditation that you have, and therefore at night, if you are sleepless and you're still active, the body is still clear, alert, then get up and then meditate. That one you meditate, and it's perfectly all right. So even the Buddha mentioned in the suttas, there are monks who meditate throughout the whole night. But perhaps maybe they still have a lot of energy and they are not doing the type of intensive meditation that what we are doing over here. Because perhaps they got other things to do in the afternoon or in the evening. So they meditate throughout the night, which is good. But while we are here, this is different. This meditation is already, you have to wake up by 4 o'clock or 4:30 around there. And then by 10 o'clock, you sleep. 6 hours, more or less, you're resting. For 5.5, maybe. Afternoon, maybe you rest for a while. Other than that, 18 hours per day or 17.5 hours per day, your job is to learn to be active and to be mindful as much as you can, whether in the daily activities or whether in the walking or whether in the sitting. So with that, usually, normally, by the end of the day, many yogis by this time tak boleh tahan liao. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock, the 7 o'clock sitting, struggling. 9 o'clock sitting is might as well give them a bed, they sure sleep already. It's tiring at times. At times, not perhaps not every day, but at times it can be tiring. If you go through this type of meditation, we know that it can be very tiring to the body. Even that time, I was like 30 plus like that, also can be really tiring. Even by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock can be really tiring. We still struggle through until 10 o'clock. Now, but there are days, once in a while, you meditate by 9 o'clock, and then mind is still alert. By 10 o'clock, still very clear. Uh, so what do? You feel that your body is tired, but your mind is still alert. You know that you need to rest already this time. So how are we going to handle this type of sleeplessness? And this one, it's again here. It's learning how to keep the mind calm. The principle here is not to let the mind run into thinking or planning or memories or whatever planning or worry about tomorrow that you cannot do. When you are lying down, you want your body to rest. And you want your body to rest. So what you need to do is that lie down to a comfortable position. Whether you are side or back, doesn't matter. As long as your mind don't goes into a lot of thinking about tomorrow. Lie down there, and then what you should do is that you learn to have a very easy, calm, very gentle type of presentness of mind. Not the type of it, not think here, not that one, that one. This one is very gentle, very only just mindfulness only. Not much of concentration, not much of detailedness in noticing, not much of that wisdom factor. Just relax only. Then the mind wants to run into thinking or worry, just bring the mind back again, and let the mind come back. And it's going to have a lot. Sometimes this type of things, this type of the mind trying to run, you're going to be many times. But your job is to be patient. Don't worry about tomorrow. Just bring it back again and again. You bring it back. Now let's say if you do like that, and then perhaps throughout the night you couldn't really sleep. You couldn't really sleep. But actually your body is already rested. Your body is already rested, and more or less like in between there is that you go into a little bit of sleep, then it wakes up again, be aware, then a bit of sleep, and then come aware again until maybe like 4 o'clock or until your alarm rings. Until the alarm rings. Then when the alarm rings, then you wake up. What is important is that the following day is that you are not so tired. Even you don't sleep so much in the retreat, you are not so tired. Perhaps maybe in the whole afternoon you've been sleeping already. Who knows, or the whole morning, whole day you've been sleeping already, of course, and maybe at night I feel alert now. But nevertheless, if you train well also, you don't have much sleepiness in the mornings, and then in the night it's clear. Then all you need to do, just don't worry about tomorrow. Just keep the mind present in it. Tomorrow it will take care of itself. If you let the mind run and go into a lot of anxiety or worry about tomorrow, that is going to make your body and mind very restless and very tired. And then that time, the next morning, you feel very sourness, very bosong, in the whole body. The mind is not alert, the mind is not bright, and so on. So, so here, try to keep the mind just calm during that time. If you're able to do that, then it's well and good. You cannot force the mind to sleep. After all, we are not doing a lot of physical heavy work over here. So some days, there'll be days that not so able to sleep that well. Okay. All right, next one. Not, wait, hold on. Okay, share. Next one. Okay, the next one is from the online. The next few talks is going to be a bit heavy. Now, in this week's talk, over concentration on sitting and walking meditation. Does over concentration happens on daily activities during retreat? If yes, what are the symptoms? In this week talks, over concentration can happen on sitting and walking meditation. Does over concentration happen on daily activities during retreat? If yes, what are the symptoms? Okay, so for those who are not here, we have been talking about balancing of the faculties, as because we are in the faculty of, and we are in the concentration as a factor of enlightenment under the 7 factors of enlightenment. So we were touching upon the symptoms where what to look out for when over concentration starts to come in, so that it doesn't becomes too much concentrated until the mind cannot meditate, or it becomes a lot of problem. So as we talk about a lot on the walking and sitting, but now the question asked is that during daily activities, can we get over concentration or even over effort also? Yes, the answer is yes. We can get this one, but not as often as walking and sitting. Not as walking and sitting. During daily activities, yes, once in a while, it can happen to some yogis. You see, during the daily activities, now the first few days when you arrive, it's always good that your daily activities, you pay attention to it well. That you notice your intention to open the door, warm or cold, slowly open, turn on the tap. During eating time, mindfully chewing, learn to make sure you put in the labeling inside there. The first few days or first 1 week. And then with this type of labeling and noticing all these small little things as much as you can, or sometimes also you have to go more detailed in the sense of you notice the hardness, softness, and how they change, as much as you can. Then it will be much easier for the mindfulness and the noticing mind to become continuous, faster. If you miss out this area, then it will take you a bit longer for the mindfulness to come in. But the thing is that here's many of us don't have that long. 2 weeks is considered okay lah. I want to say short lah, but after that you feel not so good. Yeah. The thing is that we need to put in a bit more effort in the first few days of this one. Then that is crucial. But after the next few days, then the daily activities, you got to be careful already. Yeah. Because of the mindfulness getting stronger and stronger, clearer and clearer, and maybe like a week or 2 or 3 weeks into the retreat, and mindfulness is already getting very high. Your daily activities is more like, although you're still not here and there, but a lot of times we are not so sharp in noticing. We keep the mind there. As if during the walking meditation, the mindfulness is go that high. Then when it comes to daily activities, it dip down a little bit. Then after that, when it comes to walking, sitting, and then it goes high again. Yeah, something like that. If some yogis do not know how to relax, Sometimes they walking also sharp. This one also good. But the daily activity, sometimes they do it too slowly. And then a lot of tension also can build up from there. Yeah? Because that time, if you're going to be very sharp and clear, that means, other words, your bodily actions are going to slow down. Just like when you are doing first phase, second phase, or third phase, the whole body also will slow down. It's good that the first few days you slow down. It's good. But after that, you got to be careful of slowing down. Not to say every time you don't slow down or too fast, but after a few weeks, you got to be careful because anything you push a little bit on it, too much, the whole concentration will build up even during in the daily activities also. Even in the daily activity, because those concentration and effort, it will follow from your walking to sitting and to your daily activities. Uh, So if like for example, you're doing something, maybe you brush your teeth, let's say. You brush slowly, 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 slowly until the mind become blur. No, you're still brushing, right? But the mind become blur, and then you try to notice it not so clear. That means you're trying to over detail into it already. And when this thing happen, that means signs of over concentration is coming in already. But in the first few days that you arrive, that one don't really happen. Don't really happen. In fact, you forget also. Forget to be mindful also. But in the after that, it's different thing. So you got to be careful. Yeah. So you see, in the daily activities, daily activity, you got sitting, you got walking, you got daily activities, right? Normally, what I say is that during in the during in the walking, it's gradually you make the effort. Okay, gradually you make the effort. That means you go from slow and then slower and slower. First phase, second phase, third phase. First phase, normally you don't put so much effort. If you don't put so much effort, well, the mind, you still need to relax the body. Then after that, when you go slower, 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 and you go slowest, at the slowest, you make a lot of effort of noting, 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 right? And it's good. It's a gradual. In the walking meditation, if you start off with very tiny and very, your body is not relaxed and you want to become noting very detailedly, you're going to end up a lot of tension, a lot of pressure, over concentration or over efforting. So you gradually will bring it down. During in the sitting meditation, is immediate mindful, immediate effort already. That means you sit down, you bring your attention to the rising and falling. There's no such thing as ban lai, sit down, relax first. Then 15 minutes later, then only you note your rising and falling. No, you don't do that. At home, maybe okay. At home, different story. Retreat, no. Retreat is an immediate. Sit down, immediate effort from the beginning of the sitting right at the towards the end. Yeah. Now, in the daily activities, if you want to make an effort to be sharp and detailed, then the principle is that you have to do it when your body is in a relaxed position. Not all the time, but you have to see whether the body is in the relaxed position or not. Say, for example, if you are during eating time, the body is sitting down. So sitting down, then pay attention to more detail about the chewing, biting, scooping, and so on. Don't eat like what you eat at home. This time you eat slowly, biting, chewing. I'll be watching all of you. You're sitting in front of me. So when the body is relaxed, you do that. Say if let's say another occasion you do a laundry, you washing, the leg also susana. You want to bend the leg also a bit difficult, And then that time the body is not so comfortable. And then if it's not so comfortable, then it's not easy for you to like go slowly and so on. Perhaps even say, let's say nobody waiting for you, but your body is so difficult to slowly and then yet at the same time you bend. Then a lot of us may not able to do that. Uh, uh, uh. In those days, I could do that. I mean, that is 20 years ago. Lah. You squat down, I can do things slowly, I don't have to worry about the world and everything. I can pay attention to what is going on. Then fine. Then I can do that. In other places, sometimes you cannot do that. You got to wash. Or other times, people are waiting for you. People are, in the toilet, or maybe sometimes you need to wash this and that. There are other people are waiting for you. You cannot be going too slow, right? You cannot be hogging the bathroom for 1 hour. Bamban. Slowly shower. The female side, no, not enough toilet. Maybe the male is different, but the female side, we don't have enough shower room for slowly like that. No? So you got to see the situation, and therefore you're not able to do that. So whenever you can, you try to be slow. You try to be slow, and when you're slow, once in a while, it would be good. Yeah. So throughout the whole day, try to take a few activities in the daily activities. Try to note them a bit more slowly and notice them what is going on. That will be helpful for the meditation. Yeah. So over concentration that it comes up during in the daily activities, yes, sometimes once in a while it does come up, but not that often. Even like sometimes, as I said, you're brushing slowly or eating that time slowly, you're noticing slowly, then that mindfulness from your walking or sitting, it continues over to your eating. The moment that you start noting on it, the whole energy gathers up, concentrated and noting already. And sometimes if you just do it a little bit more, why it gets over concentration, tightness, and so on. It happens also. The symptoms are all the same. Sometimes the mind cannot able to move to another object. Sometimes it's not flexible. Sometimes it gets very tight. Even in the walking, even in the eating time. So it does happen in this way. So once in a while it happens, but not often. Usually the often one is in the walking and the sitting. And between the walking and the sitting even more for the over concentration. Yeah? All right, next one. In Dhamma talks, Bhante mentioned about body is breaking up. Inverted, body is breaking up. Could Bhante explain further? In Dhamma talks, Bhante mentioned about body is breaking up. Could Bhante explain further? What does it? What I mean by body breaking up? What I'm trying to say is that when they say body is breaking up, it's the phenomena that you are noting is breaking up. Okay, the phenomena is breaking up. Now, again here, breaking up, it's how you describe the thing. Some yogis may describe that it's dissolution. It's going into dissolution. It's going into like fading off the object, and then after that it comes again very clearly. Then after it fades off, then it comes again, and then it fades off. So sometimes some yogis sees that as breaking up. Sometimes yogis sees that sometimes within arising and passing away, although moment to moment, arising and passing away, moment to moment. Sometimes for some yogis, the arising and the passing away, it's more clearer than the arising. Even the phenomena is just lasting less than a second, but somehow or another, the passing away gets more clearer. So When the passing away gets more clearer and it repeats again in a stream or it repeats again many times in the process, then the yogi sees that the whole phenomena of that particular time is as if like it's breaking up. As if like phenomena is getting going and going and going. So that's one way. Yeah? Uh, this breaking up also, this breaking up, this nature of breaking up, and you see this phenomenon is like breaking here, breaking there, disappearing, coming again, like disappearing, disappearing, disappearing. So it happens in this way. So some yogis. So this is only because of the nature of the how one notice things. But sometimes yogi thought that the mindfulness is not strong enough, or the yogi may thinks that the phenomena is not clear. Actually, the phenomena are very clear. It's not that it is not clear. It's just that it doesn't show you everything. It shows you a part of something, a part of the phenomena of a bigger picture. It shows you a certain part to be clear. Other parts not so clear. So it shows you a lot of breaking up. Things are disappearing, things are dissolution, things are fading off, in that way. So if it happens to you in like that, there's nothing wrong with mindfulness. In fact, the mindfulness is a tip-top condition right now. It's at the optimum noting. Some yogis may think that something wrong with the meditation, and no, it's not. So learn to feel it. That also, that phenomena, when it happens to see it like that, when a yogi sees a lot of dissolution, a lot of breaking up here and there, then that is also another form of anicca, another kind of anicca. Anicca doesn't mean that everything change on you. Anicca also means things, phenomena, mental state, bodily phenomena are breaking up. They see the ending of the object rather than the beginning of the object or the change of the object. Only they see the breaking up of the object. So that also falls under anicca, a different perception of anicca. Okay, that is what we meant by breaking up of the body. Next question. Okay. At retreat, in sitting meditations, objects are changing fast and the mind is bright, but details of changes are not so clear. At that moment, yogi realized some imbalances in the faculties, but not sure too much concentration or energy. What can a yogi look for to confirm which faculty is imbalanced? Objects are changing fast and the mind is bright, but details of the changes are not so clear. At that moment, yogi realized some imbalances in the faculties, but not sure too much concentration or energy. What can a yogi look for to confirm which faculty is imbalanced? Now, when we talk about all this imbalance type of energy, imbalance type of concentration, we only talk of now more or less we talk about one part where there's over concentration or over energy. But there are also at times there's under concentration, there's under effort also, which is another area that I didn't touch on that much. Usually, most of the time, it's the over concentration that it affects the state of mind, that affects the noting. Now, first few days you come in, you don't worry about all this imbalance thing, nothing to balance yet. So nothing. So first few days is about arousing until it's hot enough already. That time we talk about try to balance it. So the first few days you don't worry about it. Yeah, sometimes there are yogis who are meditating over here, that is different. Now, sometimes when you meditate and things are changing in a very dynamic manner inside there, Objects are not going to be stay there, sui sui, rising, falling. No, the object is like running here, running there, turning here, turning there, arising, passing away, running the whole body up and down. You don't know where is it also, but you know that it is there. Very clear. You don't know even which part of the body is pain. You do not know which part is the body. There's a lot of changes that's going on. The phenomena are very clear. Uh, uh, so with that time, sometimes the objects, because you do these type of things once in a while, you can over push yourself. When I say over push, for some yogis can over push the effort, some yogis can over push the concentration. And even certain yogis per yogi also, at times you could push the effort, other times you over push the concentration. The moment you start to over push objects tend to become not so clear. Tends to become not so clear. So that's one thing. That means there's some degree of faculties are imbalanced inside there, then the objects are not clear. So that's one thing. The second thing is that object itself, naturally it becomes not clear, but your mind is still alert. So now how? Is it the faculty problem? Or is it the object problem? Not to say object problem, it's the object, the nature of the object is like that. So macam mana like that? No, is it the object? Again, I say that. Is it the object becomes not clear on its own? It fades away on its own? Or is it because of your faculties become imbalanced? Then, although the object is clear, but you see it not so clear. So when you're observing it, both also are actually fading away. So which one? Now, if there is imbalance of the faculty, if let's say the object is not so clear, if the faculties are disturbed, that means the noting mind is disturbed already. That means it's not in the optimum level. Then that time, your mind is, you got to learn to feel the mind itself, that the noting mind itself is not clear already at that time. The sometimes if it's over concentration, the sign of like becoming too narrow, too holding on, or the mind is not flexible at that time. It's like it gets stuck there. And it gets stuck there. Or the mind slowly gets into more and more like a calm state, and after that, nothing much. That is the nature of over concentration. But here, because you say that the yogi asked that the mind is actually bright. So the mind is actually bright. That means that could mean that the effort is still around. That means the concentration is a bit too much, perhaps. Perhaps for this question, because it says that the object is fading away, but the mind is still bright. So that means it could be the energy is no. Maybe, sorry, the energy may be a bit too much. Energy a bit too much. Concentration not able to follow it that much. No. Still can follow. Sometimes I speak until using the wrong words and mix everything up, But when you're doing it, you don't have to talk about it. No? Just note the name. Now, sometimes when these things happen, there'll be times that you do not know which one is too much. It could be both also can too much. And mindfulness cannot keep up with both of them. That means the effort and the energy, it can be too much. And mindfulness cannot keep up with both of them. Pun boleh, like that. Not just effort more and then this one not enough, or this one more and this one not enough. Not every time like that. I mean, most of the time like that, but doesn't mean that every time is like that. So what should you do? Yeah. If let's say these things happen and you do not know what to do, let's say all you need to do is play safe. How to play safe? Play safe means go back to an object that can arouse mindfulness. Don't worry about too much effort or too much energy. The moment that the mindfulness comes in, everything kautim. Everything kautim. Because the mindfulness, when it comes in, it will know how to rebalance the whole thing. Yeah, it will know how to rebalance the whole thing. But but of course, is that you must able to notice that something is wrong inside there. Although you may not able to recognize it specifically, but because of the sharpness of the mind, your mindfulness aware that hey, something imbalance already. And then that time, even if you note that imbalance, gently, then after that everything will just balance. You just acknowledge it as it is. That means the mind in the state of imbalance, you just note it as imbalance. Sometimes when what I do is that when meditate now, I know over concentration is there. I don't go and like uh okay, bring up the effort. I mean, I used to lah. I also used to. Not to say I completely abandoned the method, but also I nowadays also like it's just too much effort or too much concentration. Just aware that too much concentration, too much. Then you, you come down and to rebalance it. Then it's this, you know that it's too much energy, too much. Then again, it comes down. Then you play safe, just be aware of them. Then you play safe. Then you play safe, then you come down again, everything cool and nice. Then you start noting again, everything will come back to balance again. So a lot of time, it's just to come back. At that time, sometimes it's too much of tension and pulling or whatever. What I do is just back again to rising and falling. Safe ma. If you go to the mind, mental states and everything, you go to the mental states and everything, although there's a lot of changes is happening there, sometimes the tension also is in the head area, mind and process are all intermingled with it. Then at time, all the whole mind is the faculties are going haywire. So haywire, then what do you do? Then go back, just the rising and falling. If not, just put the hand there. Breathing in, just feel it for a while. Just bring the mind to the present. It will be always good if there's some kind of pain around. The pain also is a very good thing. So just rest the mind on the pain. Just be present with the pain. Just don't have to note it very sharply for that period of time. Just relax there. Relax there. Just bring everything down. Bring kill the not to kill the fire, just to make everything down. After that, relax already, and then only slowly starts to note again. it take you some time, If like say for example, like in the walking, you do not know whether it's too much, too little, then what do? Go back to one phase again. Right step, left step, right step, left step, until everything becomes clear. The mind don't run a bit anymore, and then then restart again with more detailed noting. Then everything become balanced again. I find that this one is a lot of times it's much easier to do rather than think about too much effort now, how to go and arouse the effort, then note a bit faster, note a bit faster. Sometimes a lot of things that is needed to be done. But if you know how to do it, then it's good. The more method that you know, it's better. In other words, you have to meditate and try trial and error here and there. So here as the according to the question is the mind is bright. Usually when the mind is bright, that means the effort is there. It can be a bit too much effort. It can be a bit too much effort. Sometimes, for example, if you do the sitting and touching, If you do the sitting and touching, then let's say you do it very fast. Sitting, you take the right, you take the hands, buttock, right buttock, left buttock. That's it. And you run it through very fast. You just note one time, and then after that, the other one you note another time, then another one you note another time. That means you touch an object, you need to touch one time. Let's say and then you do it very fast. You do it very fast. Sitting, touching, titi, tata, titi, tata, titi, tata, titi, tata. Yeah. Then after that, your mind is very bright. Mind is very bright. But mindfulness doesn't come together with it. After that, your mind is bright, but you cannot meditate. The mind is, you don't see any object. The mind is bright already. That means that time, you're over efforting already. You're putting too much effort already. So there is a sign of too much effort is there. So every time when we do sitting touching, it has to have, you're able to notice an object. That means you have to notice a hardness or softness, something there. Other words, just stay for that area, a few notings first, 4 noting, 5 notings first, then only you move the next object. Few notings first, then only you move to the object. Few noting. Then it helps to keep the mind, the mindfulness is there. So these type of cases, when the mind is bright, that means there's a bit of too much effort. The effort is there. So all depends. It's hard to able to explain all these type of things. Okay. Next question. Next one. Wow, this one also a lot. No. Speak until the muscle also tired. The jaws muscle. Bhante, you have spoken about tranquility as a factor of enlightenment. Okay. I once experienced a state of mind whereby I seems to be clear in the mind but just unable to note. But before that, I was able to note pain, sensation, feelings changing from unpleasant feelings to neutral feelings and pleasant feelings. I wanted to note the feelings as pleasant feelings, but just was not able to do so. Was it tranquility? Yeah. So again here, let me repeat. I once experienced a state of mind where I seems to be clear in the mind, but just unable to note. Before that, I was able to note pain, sensation, not pain, sensation, and feelings changing from unpleasant feelings, neutral feelings, and pleasant feelings. I wanted to note the pleasant feeling as pleasant feelings, but just not able to do so. Was this tranquility? Okay. Now, when tranquility becomes a prominent feature in the noting, and if it becomes too much, I mean, tranquility also can become too much on it. Not to say just on concentration. When tranquility becomes too much, what happens is that the mind becomes too quiet. Too quiet. That means it is not active anymore. You cannot even think at that time, but that time you cannot even note also. That means if you cannot able to note, that means your object is not clear to you. When the object is not clear to you, that means the progress is not going, although that tranquility is still there. That means it's already too much tranquility already. Okay? So, when tranquility is in the balanced state, it's in the balance, and there are all the faculties are in all the factor of enlightenment are all in the balanced state. That means that the noting mind, it is free from all the thinking and free from all the agitation of mind, that it can be connected with restlessness or desire or anger and so on. So the mind is fully alert to note what is going on. That means that time tranquility is strong. At times also, if the tranquility is strong, also the labeling also don't come in, but the mind is fully able to notice what is going on. If that happens, then it's well and good. Now, let's say, as the question here, it says that you before that you can able to note the pain, the sensation, and so on, change the feelings changing and all that thing. But I wanted to note the feelings as feeling, but was not able to do so. Yeah. Oh, I'm not sure whether what you mean by this. You wanted to note the feelings, but you're not able to do so. That means, is it labeling is the one that you cannot make a labeling, or is it that you cannot note the object? There's two different things here. Labeling is one thing, noting an object is another thing. But in the beginning process of meditation, we put the labeling and noting together so that we can able to anchor the mind on the object. But if you're more experienced yogi, then sometimes labeling, we drop it off and we only observe what is going on without the labeling. Okay. Now, let's say as your question that if you want to note the pleasant feeling that arises, but this time you are not able to note it, not because you cannot label it, but you cannot note it. That means it could be one of the things is that it could be the concentration may be coming up or the tranquility may be coming up. So it becomes too much already. Yeah? But if you can able to still note the object, but the labeling cannot coming up, then it's still all right. Then it's perfectly fine. Then that time, the tranquility a little bit more clearer. Yeah? The most important thing is that you able to note the object and the object is changing or doing something, then it is fine. Yeah? Uh, so so whether it's tranquility or concentration, actually, well, it could be tranquility. I cannot guarantee you 100%. Yeah? Okay, last question. Bhante, recently I tried to meditate sometime at home. For about 40 minutes, I was watching the rise and fall of the abdomen. Different sensation like how pain arises, stays, and passes away in various parts of the leg and the lower back. Okay. Then I realized I was beginning to have aversion to the painful feelings. Then I noted aversion and felt that I was not so badly affected by the pain. It had become tolerable and the mind become a bit blurry. Then I got up from the sitting. Is this normal in Vipassana practice? Yeah. Yeah, all these things are normal. Yeah. Normal. Normal. Sometimes the word normal, different people have different interpretation. So better don't use the word normal too much. Have to describe it a bit more. Yeah. Now, you see, when you meditate, okay, when you meditate and you can able to notice all the objects in the various parts of the body, well and good, fine, good. Yeah. Then the pain comes in later, you note the pain, and then after that, the aversion arises. You note the aversion reduce or disappear. Then, as you said, the mind becomes a bit blurry. Now, the, a bit blurry, could it? I'm not sure again whether it's due to a number of things. When usually yogis is mentioned this way, then perhaps sometimes the energy is not enough to sustain the further notings. It could be one thing because you use a lot of your effort, energy during in your pain, not the pain. Then your reduce already, not enough energy. And then after that, you try to meditate again. Bo lat liao. You flat already, so it could be one thing also. But also it could be the mind blurry, it could be any other it could be because of the I mean when the energy drop, that means the noting mind also drop. That means object that you are noticing also not so clear. It becomes blurry, and that could mean also in that way. It also could mean that the mind become tolerable and mind become blurry. Well, it could be other thoughts may be coming in or whatever that is coming in. I also do not know. So as long as you able to note earlier part, that you notice the change in the sensation and so on. I mean, even if you are at home, that is very good already. Even 40 minutes, then also is very good already. So perhaps it may not be perfect sitting. If some parts of the end of the sitting is not so clear, doesn't matter. What is important is the beginning part that you can able to notice all these type of things. So we hard to say for us to know what is blurry is all about. After all, this is only in the home practice. So that's about it for the for the Q&A. Yeah, that's it. So the next talk is on Monday. So tomorrow there's no talk. All right, we share merits. Idang me bawanang nibbanasa pachayo hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of Nibbana. Imang no punya bagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sabbe satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu. Sadhu.